Sandcastle Bay, Chapter 23, the last chapter. After tossing and turning every night for days after Emily had left, Boone reached a decision. He couldn't lose her again, not out of stubbornness, not without trying everything possible to put this relationship together. Pete, in my office, he commanded as he passed his friend in the restaurant. Sure, boss, Pete said, following him at once. What's up? Boone sat behind his desk. I want you to forget about Charleston. You've been jumping through hoops. They're obviously not going to come around, at least not on our terms. Pete nodded. I know you're right. I just hate giving up. Should I get those other options so we can look them over? Pete shook his head. I want new options, this time in Southern California. Pete's jaw dropped. Los Angeles? San Diego? Where? L.A. Boone said Beverly Hills, Santa Monica, McDonough Beach, whatever. You know, real estate there's going to be as bad as New York, and the market's just as competitive. Pete said, frowning. You are totally against that. I don't get it. Emily's going to need to be in Los Angeles nonstop for quite a while. She's not going to be there without me. You'll take over East Coast operations. You can hire an assistant. I'll fly in from time to time. Again, Pete's jaw dropped. Did I hear a commotion in there? Boone chuckled. You did. I'll give you a raise too, so you can afford those tickets you'll need for New York on a regular basis. Pete shrugged. I don't think that's going to work out, but the promotion is great. How soon do you want the information on Los Angeles? After the first of the year? Boone shook his head. I want it yesterday. There's a bonus in it if you can find me the perfect property by the end of the day today, so I can fly out to take a look at it tomorrow. And by the way, I'll be in Colorado for a couple of days after that. Pete looked as if his head were reeling. Boone had never done anything this impulsively before. You're full of surprises, Pete said, sounding concerned. Are you sure you're okay? Never better, Boone said with conviction. He fingered the thick vellum invitation to the opening of the Aspen Ski Lodge and smiled. It's taken me a very long time to have what I want within reach. This time I'm not letting go. Though Emily had been repeatedly told that she had no official duties at the grand opening party, that her role in readying the ski lodge had been successfully completed, and that she was simply a very valued guest, she couldn't help wandering through the crowded event and looking for any problem she might not have noticed earlier. Was there adequate seating for a large crowd? Was there sufficient conveniently located and text so guests could get set down their drinks? Was there any risk of tripping at carpet edges? You're working, Tracy accused when she ran into her. I thought I told you to enjoy yourself tonight. You've earned it. Forced of habit, Emily said with a chuckle. Sophia stopped inviting me to her events because she says all my obvious fretting makes her guests nervous. Derek's wife grinned at her. I am not going to banish you from this amazing party, but I will order you to take a walk outside. Breathe in the incredible scent of that mountain air until you feel completely relaxed. Then come back in here and drink this outrageously expensive champagne. Emily laughed. Okay, I can do that, she hugged her friend. Thank you. I should be thanking you. You performed a miracle here in record time, and you did it without killing my demanding husband. I'll take a client who knows what he wants anytime over those who keep changing their minds, Emily said. Now go, enjoy your success, I'll step outside and look at that amazing clear sky and the fairyland of trees along the driveway. She went to her room, grabbed her coat, scarf, and gloves, then walked out into the lodge's wide front porch, captivated by the scene spread out before her. It was like a picture postcard of the idle Christmas setting, with snow covered mountains as a backdrop, white lights twinkled in majestic fairs as far as the eye could see. Derek had wanted the entrance to the lodge to be magical, and it was. It's beautiful, a voice from the shadows commented. Stunned and not quite believing her ears, Emily whirled around. Boone? He stepped into the light and walked toward her. It really is you, she said, her heart lifting as she flew into his arms. When? How? I received an invitation, he told her. Didn't it come from you? No, but I think I know exactly who's responsible, she said. Derek had said his wife was a meddler. Obviously, Tricia has seen the perfect chance for nudging Emily's romance along, and this explains why I haven't been able to reach you for days now. Either you were scared you'd spoil the surprise, or you were an en route. Something like that, he said, his tone oddly mysterious. He put his arm around her and pulled her to his side. I'm not sure I've ever seen anything this beautiful, he said. When Emily glanced up, she realized he was looking at her, not the glorious scene spread out in front of them. I've missed you, she said, and I've been worrying myself sick that you've changed your mind. Never, he said suspiciously. Not about us. What we have is a done deal. Thank God, she said, snuggling closer. Do you want to come inside? See the rest of the lodge? Put your bags in my room? He laughed. I think we need to avoid your room for now. We might never get out of there. And I'm content to stay right here for a few more minutes, unless you're cold. Are you? Not since you showed up, she said. Did you bring BJ? I spoke to him earlier. He talked on and on about his school play, but he certainly didn't give me a single hint about what's going on with you. He doesn't know I'm here. I told him I had to go out of town on business. He's staying with Jody and Frank. We'll bring him with us next time. He's going to love this place, and he's going to want to learn to ski. You sure as if that's the worst thing he could possibly want to learn, she teased. Are you scared of skiing? Of skiing? No. Of running into a tree? Yeah. Emily laughed. Boone frowned. I suppose you're an expert. Not me, she said. There's no way to go up the mountain that I find acceptable. I'm content right here in the lodge, and yet you are making fun of me, he said. How is that fair? What does fair have to do with it? She inquired, feeling amazingly carefree and giddy all of a sudden. Boone was here. He'd surprised her. He'd been adamant about being with her. Surely that meant everything was going to work out, even if there were a few bumps along the way. It seemed as if there was every chance this would be the merriest Christmas ever. Boone woke with Emily in his arms and all seemingly right in with his world. This was exactly the way it had been meant to be, the two of them together sharing magical moments. When his cell phone rang, he glanced at the caller ID, then frowned when he saw Jody's number. Holding back a sigh, he answered. Good morning, Jody. How are you? I've been better, she said, a familiar tight tone to her voice. What's wrong? Is BJ okay? BJ's with us, she said, then added irritably. Of course he's fine. Then what's the problem? I thought you were going out of town on business. Instead, I find out that you're off on some trysts with that woman. Boone winced. He told her only that he was going to California and then Colorado. He deliberately left Emily's name out of the conversation. Someone, however, apparently hadn't. Since he doubted Jody had been talking to Cora Jane, it had to have been Pete. He hadn't thought to swear him to secrecy. Jody continued, since he's obviously more important to you than your son, Frank and I intend to take PJ down to California with us for the holidays. That way you'll be free to do, well, whatever it is you insist on doing with that woman. Boone sat up on the side of the bed, barely smothering a curse before he responded. Yelling wasn't going to accomplish a thing. Unfortunately, he doubted reason would either. Jody, you really don't want to do that, he said quietly. It's exactly what I want to do, she corrected. She's obviously more important to you than your son. No, Jody. The only thing this proves is that I should never have made the mistake of giving you a chance to have your grandson with you for a few days. If I'd had any idea at all that you would try to twist this situation to your advantage, I have brought BJ with me. Believe me, I won't make that mistake again. If you want all out war, then that's exactly what you'll get. I should have known you resort to threats, she said with a huff. Let me talk to Frank, he commanded. Sorry, he's not available. He's loading up the car. Says he was getting nowhere with Jody anyway. Boone disconnected the call and dialed his father-in-law's cell phone number. Frank picked up on his first ring. I'm sorry, Boone, he said before Boone could utter a word. I tried to get through to her, but Jody's determined to do this. If I hadn't agreed, she'd be taking BJ and heading off on her own. At least this way, I'll be around to keep an eye on things. Frank, you know I've had to no beef with you. I've even understand what Jody is going through. But you all do not have my permission to take BJ to Florida. Don't make me call the authorities. I don't want to do that, not for BJ's sakes or for yours. Talk some sense into her before this gets out of hand. Please, I'll do what I can, Frank promised. But you know where we'll be if I don't have any luck and changing her mind. And you know BJ will be safe. I'll see to that. Boone disconnected the call and started calling the airlines. By then, Emily was awake and had obviously grasped some of what was happening. This is because of me, isn't it? She said, her tone flat. Jody flipped out because you're here with me. Jody just flipped out if you asked me, he retorted, though he knew she was driven by grief and anger. He'd been as understanding as he possibly could be. But this was absolutely the last straw. They're heading for Florida? Emily asked, until Frank can talk sense into her. And Boone confirmed. Then why fly to North Carolina? She asked. Fly directly to Florida. I will come with you. Boone shook his head. As desperately as he wanted Emily by his side, he didn't want to inflame the situation. Who knew what Jody would do if they both showed up? You're right about going to Florida, he said, but I need to go alone. Emily's expression immediately shut down. Sure, I understand. Why make things worse? I'll pick up BJ and we'll be back in North Carolina in time for Christmas, Boone promised. He pretended not to notice the tears gathering in her eyes. If he acknowledged them, it would be his undoing. He knew she was being made to feel like an outsider when all she'd done was love him and his son. An hour later, he made his reservations and Emily dropped him off at the airport. You're not flying out today? He asked when he noticed she hadn't brought her bags. Not until later, she told him. Boone kissed her heart. I love you, he reminded her. We're not letting anything keep us apart, okay? I'll be back in North Carolina in a couple of days at most. We're going to have an amazing Christmas. She smiled, though it was clearly forced. Sure, she said. She stayed there until he was through security, then waved one last time. Something in her forlorn expression cut